BYO Shakespeare's presentation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I am Sock Mabel. Oh God, I'm really nervous. Do I have to? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Just say the things we practiced, okay? Okay, all right. Okay, so BYO Shakespeare is a group of friends and colleagues who have been gathering during quarantine to read Shakespeare together. And we decided that we were having so much fun that we wanted to share it with somebody else. And that somebody is you. So welcome to our living rooms and to the Bard's work and to a wonderful time that we're going to have together. In honor of what we've been doing during quarantine, some of our traditions, like me, Sock Mabel, are still going to be a part of the show that might not perhaps be in a regular production. So without much ado, we are about ready. Oh, we gotta remember to tell them about the chat. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you haven't been on a YouTube Live before, you have the ability to chat with us. Now we have a little time delay and we won't really be watching it all of the time as we're going through, but if you want to congratulate everyone who you see on screen, if you want to ask questions, we will have a chance after the show to try to answer some of those questions. So feel free to check out the chat feature down below, question mark? Yeah, it's below. So anyway, without any more ado, here we go. We're gonna jump right on in to William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Oh, that was really pretty good, Naves. Good job. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Theseus and Hippolyta with others.
Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 happy days bring in another moon. But oh, methinks how slow this old moon wanes. She lingers my desires, like to a stepdame or a dowager, long withering out a young man's revenue.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time, and then the moon, like to a silver bow new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnity.
Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing thee injuries. But I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reveling.
Enter EGEUS with his daughter HERMIA, Lysander, and Demetrius.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, good EGEUS. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter, HERMIA. Stand forth, Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander. My gracious Duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung with feigning voice verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy. With cunning thou hast filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due to me, to stubborn harshness. And my gracious Duke, be it so, she will not hear before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens. As she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall either be to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law immediately provided in that case.
What say you, HERMIA? Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier.
I would my father looked but with mine eyes.
Rather your eyes must with his judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon me. I know not by what power I am made bold, nor how it may concern my modesty in such a presence here to plead my thoughts. But I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to abjure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires. Know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether, if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun, for I to be in shady cloister mewed, to live a barren sister all your life, chanting faint hymns to the cold, fruitless moon.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord, ere I will yield my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, the sealing day betwixt my love and me, for everlasting bond of fellowship, upon that day either prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius as he would, or on Diana's altar to protest for austerity and single life.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazed title to my certain right.
You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Scornful Lysander, true, he hath my love, and what is mine my love shall render him. She is mine, and all my right of her I do estate unto Demetrius.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his. My fortunes every way as fairly ranked, if not with vantage, as Demetrius. And, which is more than all these boasts can be, I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Why should not I then prosecute my right? Demetrius, I'll avouch it to his head, made love to Nadar's daughter Helena, and won her soul. And she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes in idolatry upon this spotted and inconstant man.
I must confess that I have heard so much, and with Demetrius thought to have spoke thereof, but being overfull of self-affairs, my mind did lose it. But Demetrius, come, and come, EGEUS, you shall go with me. I have some private schooling for you both. For you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up to death or to a vow of single life. Come, my HIPPOLYTA, what cheer, my love? Demetrius and EGEUS, go along. I must employ you in some business against our nuptial, and confer with you of something nearly that concerns yourselves.
With duty and desire we follow you.
All but Hermia and Lysander exit.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well beteem them from the tempest of mine eyes.
Ay and me, for aught that ever I could read, could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth. But either it was different in years,
O cross, too high to be enthralled to low,
or else misgrafted in respect of years,
O spite, too old to be engaged to young,
or else it stood upon the choice of friends,
O hell, to choose love by another's eyes.
or if there were a sympathy in choice, war, death, or sickness did lay siege to it, making it momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as the lightning in the collied night, which in a spleen unfolds both heaven and earth. And ere a man hath power to say, behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up. So quick, bright things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have been ever crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. Then let us teach our trial patience, because it is a customary cross, as due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancy's followers.
A good persuasion. Therefore, hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager, of great revenue, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house removed 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee. And to that place the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me, then steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood, a league without the town, where I did meet thee once with Helena, to do observance for a morn of May, there will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee by Cupid's strongest bow, by his best arrow with the golden head, by the simplicity of Venus's doves, by that which knitteth souls and prospers loves, in that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly will I meet with thee.
Keep promise, love. Look, here comes Helena.
Enter Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena, whither away?
Call you me fair? That's fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair! Your eyes are lodestars, and your tongue's sweet air, more tunable than lark to shepherd's ear, when green is wheat, and when hawthorn buds appear. Sickness is catching. Oh, what favor so! Yours would I catch, fair Hermia, ere I go. My ear should catch your voice, my eye your eye. My tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. Were the world mine, Demetrius being baited, the rest I'd give to be to you translated. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns would teach my smile such skill.
I give him curses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty. Would that fault were mine.
Take comfort. He no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Athens as a paradise to me. Oh, then what graces in my love do dwell, that he hath turned a heaven unto a hell.
Helen, our minds to you we shall unfold. Tomorrow night, when Phoebe doth behold her silver visage in the watery glass, decking with liquid pearl the bladed grass, a time which lovers' flights doth still conceal, through Athens' gates have we devised to steal.
And in the wood where often you and I upon faint primrose beds were wont to lie, emptying our bosoms of their counsel sweet, there my Lysander and myself shall meet, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes to seek new friends in stranger companies. Farewell, sweet playfellow. Pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee thy Demetrius. Keep word, Lysander. We must starve our sight from lovers' food till morrow deep midnight.
I will, my Hermia. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dote on you.
Hermia and Lysander exit.
How happy some or some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know. And as he errs, doting on Hermia's eyes, so I, admiring of his qualities. Things base and vile hold no quantity. Love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste. Wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in game themselves forswear, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he held down oath that he was only mine. And when this hail some heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight. Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her, and for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense. But herein I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Helena exits. Scene 2. Enter Quince the carpenter, Snug the joiner, Bottom the weaver, Flute the bellows mender, Snout the tinker, and Starveling the tailor.
Is all our company here?
Oh, you were best to call them generally man by man, according to the script.
Here is the scroll of every man's name which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on, then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
Oh, a very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer, as I call you, Nick Bottom the Weaver.
Ready. Name what part I am for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus, a lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself, most gallant for love.
Oh, that will ask some tears in the performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure. To the rest, yet my chief humor is for a tyrant. I could play Heracles rarely, or a part to tear a cat in to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phyllis Carr shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish fates. That was lofty. Now name the rest of the players. This is Heracles' vein, a tyrant's vein. A lover is more condoling.
Francis Flute the bellows mender.
Oh, here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
What is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, Fate, let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming in.
That's all one. You shall play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
and I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisne, Thisne, oh, Pyramus, my beloved dear, thy Thisbe dear and lady dear.
No, you must play Pyramus and Flute you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Robin Starveling the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
You must play Thisbe's mother. Tom Smout the tinker.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus's father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner. You, the lion's part. And I hope here is a play fitted.
Have you the lion part written? Pray you, if it be, to give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar that I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again.
And you should do it too terribly. You would fright the Duchess and the ladies, and they would all shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
They would hang us! Every
mother's son.
I grant you, friends, if you should fright the ladies out of their wits, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice, so that I will roar as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar and twir any nightingale.
You can play no part but Pyramus, for Pyramus is a sweet-faced man. A proper man, as one shall see in a summer's day, a most lovely, gentlemanlike man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beard would I be best to play it in?
By what you will. But masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to con them by tomorrow night and meet me in the palace wood, a mile without the town, by moonlight. There we will rehearse, for if we meet in the city, we shall be dogged with company and our devices known. In the meantime, I will draw up a bill of property such as our play once. I pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, and there we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, be perfect. Adieu.
At the Duke's Oak we meet.
Oh, hold or cut bowstrings.
They exit. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter a fairy known as Peas Blossom at one door, and Robin Goodfellow, better known as Puck, at another.
How now, spirit? Whither wander you? Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire, I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's sphere. And I serve the fairy queen to dew her orbs upon the green. The cowslips tall her pensioners be, in their gold coats spots you see. Those be rubies, fairy favors, in these freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou lob of spirits, I'll be gone. Our queen and all her elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing fell in wrath, because that she, as her attendant, hath a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling. And jealous Oberon would have the child, knight of his train, to trace the forest wilds. But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. Now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or spangled starlit sheen, but they do swear that all their elves for fear creep into the acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shape and making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are you not he? That frights the maids of the villagery, skim milk, and sometimes labor in the quern. Oh, and bootless sometimes make the breathless huswife churn, and sometimes make the drink to bear no harm, mislead night wanderers, leading them to their harm. Those that hobgoblin call you, and a sweet puck. You do their work, and they shall have good luck. Are you not he?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in the likeness of a filly fowl. And sometimes I lurk in a gossip's bowl in the very likeness of a roasted crab. And when she drinks against our lips, I bob and on her withered dewlip pour the ale. The wisest aunt, oh, telling the saddest tale, sometimes for a 3-foot stool mistaketh me. And then I slip from her bum and down topple she, and Taylor cries and falls into a cough, and the whole choir holds their hips in laugh and wax it in their mirth and knees and swear. Oh, a merrier hour was never wasted there. But room fairy, here comes Oberon.
And here my mistress, would that he were gone.
Enter Oberon, the king of fairies, at one door with his train, and Titania, the queen, at another with her train.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What, jealous Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know when thou hast stolen from fairyland, and in the shape of Corin sat all day, playing on pipes of corn and versing love to amorous Philida. Why art thou here come from the farthest steep of India, but that forsooth thy bouncing Amazon mistress and your warrior love to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to bring their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus, for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with HIPPOLYTA, knowing I know thy love to Theseus?
These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since midsummer spring met we in hill, in dale, forest, or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beachant margin of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind, but with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sports. Therefore the winds piping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land have every pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. No knight is now with him or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air that rheumatic diseases do abound. And through this distemperature, we see the spring, the summer, the childing autumn, the angry winter change their wonted liveries. And the mazed world by their increase now knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of me. His mother was a votress of my order. Full often hath she gossiped by my side and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up her boy. And for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our round and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I will spare your haunts.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies, away. We shall chide downright if I longer stay. Titania and her fairies exit.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music.
I remember.
That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal throned by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched in the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votress passed on in maiden meditation, fancy-free. Yet marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
I'll put a girdle round the earth in 40 minutes.
Puck exits.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing then she, waking, looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as I can take it with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible, and I will overhear their conference.
Enter Demetrius, Helena following him.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll stay, the other stayeth me. Thou toldest me they were stolen unto this wood, and here am I, and wood within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. but yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or do I rather not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. I and your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave, unworthy as I am, to follow you. What worse a place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me, than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege, for that it is not night when I do see your face. Therefore I think I am not in the night, nor doth this wood lack worlds of company. For you, in my respect, are all the world. Then how can it be said that I am alone when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee and hide me in the brakes and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will. The story shall be changed. Apollo flies and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin. The mild hind, makes speed to catch the tiger. Bootless speed when cowardice pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy questions. Let me go, or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
Demetrius exits.
I, in the temple, in the town, the field, you do me mischief. Defy Demetrius. Your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wooed and were not made to woo. I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Helena exits.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love.
Re-enter Puck.
Hast thou the flower there? Welcome, wanderer.
There it is.
I pray thee give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where ox lips and the nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania sometime of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delights, and there the snake throws her emerald skin weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on, affected with some care, that he may prove more fond on her than she upon her love. And look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
They exit. Scene 2. Enter Titania, Queen of Fairies, with her train. Come now, a roundel and a fairy's song. Then, for the third part of a minute hence, some to kill cankers in the muskrow's budge, some war with the rare mice for their leathern wings to make my small elves' coats, and some keep back the clamorous owl that nightly hoots and wonders at our quaint spirits. Sing me now asleep, then to your offices, and let me rest.
You spotted snakes with double tongue, thorny hedgehogs be not seen. Newts and blind worms do no wrong. Come not near our fairy queen. Philomel with melody, sing in our sweet lullaby. La 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 lullaby. La 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 lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm come our lovely lady nigh. So good night with lullaby. Weaving spiders come not here, hence you long-legged spinners, hence. Beetles black approach not near, worm nor snail make no offense. Philomel with melody, sing in our sweet lullaby. La 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 lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm come our lovely lady nigh. So good night with lullaby.
Titania sleeps.
Hence away, now all is well. One aloof stand sentinel.
Fairies exit. Enter Oberon, who anoints Titania's eyelids with the nectar.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake. Be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair, in thy eye that shall appear when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
He exits. Enter Lysander and Hermia.
Fair love, you faint with wandering in the wood, and to speak troth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, for I lie upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both, one heart, one bed, two bosoms, and a single troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
Oh, take the sense, sweet, of my innocence. Love takes the meaning in love's conference. I mean that my heart unto yours it knit, so that but one heart you can make of it. Two bosoms interchained with an oath, so then two bosoms and a single troth. Then by your side no bedroom me deny, for lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles very prettily. Now much beshrew my manners and my pride, if Hermia meant to say Lysander lied. But, gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off in human modesty. Such separation, as well may be said, becomes a virtuous bachelor and a maid. So far be distant, and good night, sweet friend. Thy love ne'er alter to thy sweet life end.
Amen. Amen to that fair prayer, say I. And then end life when I end loyalty. Here is my bed. Sleep give thee all his rest.
With half that wish the wisher's eyes be pressed.
They sleep. Enter Puck.
Through the forest I have gone, but Athenian found I none on whose eyes I might approve this flower's force in stirring love. Night and silence, who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he my mistress said despised the Athenian maid. Oh, and here the maiden, sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Pretty soul, she durst not lie near this lack love, this kill courtesy. Churl upon thy eyes, I throw all the power this charm doth owe.
He anoints Lysander's eyelids with the nectar.
When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So, awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
Puck exits. Enter Demetrius and Helena running.
Stay, though thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, wilt thou darkling leave me? Do not so.
Stay on my peril. I alone will go.
Demetrius exits.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia, wheresoe'er she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. How came her eyes so bright? Not with salt tears. If so, my eyes are oftener washed than hers. No, I am as ugly as a bear, for beasts that meet me run away for fear. Therefore no marvel though Demetrius do as a monster fly my presence thus. What wicked and dissembling glass of mine made me compare with Hermia's fiery eyne? But who is here? Lysander on the ground, dead or asleep. I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run through fire would I for thy sweet sake. Transparent, Helena, nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so. Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia? Lord, what though? Yet Hermia still loves you. Then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious hours I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love, who would not change a raven for a dove. The will of man is by his reason swayed, and reason says you are the worthier maid. Things growing are not ripe until their season, so I, being young, till now ripe not to reason. And touching now the point of human skill, reason becomes martial to my will, and leads me to your eyes, where I o'erlook love's stories, written in love's richest book.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? It's not enough, young man, that I did never, no, nor never can, deserve a sweet look from Demetrius's eye, but you must flout my insufficiency? Good troth, you do me wrong. Good sooth you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well. Perforce I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused, should of another therefore be abused.
Helena exits.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayst thou come Lysander near. For as a surfeit of the sweetest things, the deepest loathing to the stomach brings, or as the heresies that men do leave are hated most of those that did deceive, so thou, my surfeit, and my heresy of all be hated, but the most of me. And all my powers address your love and might to honor Helen and to be her knight.
Lysander exits.
Help me. Lysander, help me. Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my breast. Ay me. For pity. What a dream was here. Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Methought a serpent ate my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander, what? Removed? Lysander, Lord, what, out of hearing? Gone? No sound, no word. Alack, where are you? Speak, and if you hear, speak of all loves, I swoon almost with fear. No, then I well perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you, I'll find immediately.
Hermia exits. Act 3, Scene 1. With Titania still asleep on stage, enter the mechanicals. Bottom, Quince, Snout, Starveling, Snug, and Flute.
Are we all met?
Pat, and here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage, and that hawthorn brake our tiring house. And we will do it in action, as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince.
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Paramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Paramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By Alacken, a parlous fear.
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Oh, not a whit. I have a device that will to make it all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say we will do no harm with our swords, and that Paramus is not killed indeed. And for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Paramus, am not Paramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, we shall have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No, make it 2 more. Let it be written in 8 and 8.
Will not the ladies be afeard of the lion?
I fear it, I promise you.
Masters, you ought to consider with yourself. To bring in, God shield us, a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing, for there is not a more fearful wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Therefore, another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
Nay, you must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck, and he himself must speak through, saying thus, or to the same defect, ladies, or fair ladies, I would wish you, I would request you, or I would entreat you not to fear, and not to tremble. My life for yours. If you think I come hither as a lion, it were pity of my life. No, I am no such thing. I am a man as other men are, and there indeed let him name his name, and tell them plainly he is Snug the Joiner.
Well, it shall be so. But there is 2 hard things. That is, to bring moonlight into a chamber, for you know, Paramus and Thisbe did meet by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine that night that we play our play?
A calendar. Look in the almanac. Find out moonshine. Find out moonshine.
Yes, it does shine that night.
Oh, why, then we may leave a casement of the great chamber window where we play open, and the moon may shine in at the casement.
Aye. Or else one must come in with a bush of thorns and a lantern and say that he comes to disfigure or to present the person of moonshine. Then there is another thing. We must have a wall in the great chamber, for Paramus and Thisbe did talk through the chink of a wall.
But you can never bring in a wall. you, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall, and let him have some plaster or some loam or some rough cast about him to signify wall, or let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you've spoken your speech, enter into that break, and so everyone according to his cue.
Enter Puck, invisible to those on stage.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here, so near the cradle of the fairy queen? What? A play toward? Ooh, I'll be an auditor. And an act or two, if I see fit.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of odious savors sweet.
Odors.
Odors, savors sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
Bottom exits.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here.
Puck exits.
Must I speak now?
Aye, Mary, must you, for you must understand he goes but to see a noise that he heard and is to come again.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily white of hue, of color like the red rose on triumphant briar, most briskly juvenile, and eke most lovely Jew, as true as truest horse that would yet never tire, I will meet thee, Pyramus, by Ninny's tomb.
Nina's tomb, man? Why, you must not speak that yet. That you answer to Pyramus. You speak all your parts at once, cues and all. Pyramus, enter. Your cue is past, is never tire.
As true as truest horse that yet would never tire.
Enter Puck and Bottom as Pyramus with the ass head.
If I were fair Thisbe, I were only thine.
Oh, monstrous! Oh, strange! We are haunted! Pray! Fly, masters! Fly! Help!
Quince, Flute, Snout, Snug, and Starveling exit.
I'll follow you. I'll lead you about around through a bog, through bush, through brake, through briar. Sometimes a horse I'll be, sometimes a hound, a hog, a headless bear, sometimes a fire.
Puck exits.
Why do they run away? This isn't knavery of them to make me afeard.
Enter Snout.
Oh, Bottom! Bottom, thou art changed! What do I see on thee?
What do you see? You see an ass head of your own, do you?
Snout exits. Enter Quince.
Bless thee, Bottom! Thou art translated!
Quince exits.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could. But I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing, that they shall hear I am not afraid. The ouzel cocks are black of hue, with orange tawny bill. The throstle with his note so true, the wren with little quill.
Ooh, what angel awakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plain song cuckoo grey, whose note full many a man doth make, and does not answer. For indeed, who would set his wit to so foolish a bird? Who would give a bird the lie, though he cry cuckoo never so?
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note, so is mine eye enamored of thy shape. And thy fair virtues perforce doth move me on the first view to say, to swear I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays. The more the pity that some honest neighbors will not make them friends. Nay, I can gleek upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither, but if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood, do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common rate. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore go with me. I'll give you fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch thee jewels from the deep, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. And I will purge thy mortal grossness, so that thou shalt like an airy spirit go. Peas blossom, cobweb, moth, mustard seed.
Ready.
And I.
And I.
And I.
Where shall we go?
Oh.
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman. Hop in his walks and gambol in his eyes. Feed him with apricots and dewberries, with purple grapes and green figs and mulberries. The honey bags fetch from the humble bees, and for night tapers crop their waxen thighs, and light them at the fiery glowworm's eyes. To have my love to bed and to arise, and pluck the wings from painted butterflies, to fan the moonbeam from his sleeping eyes. Nod to him, elves, and do him courtesies.
Hail, mortal.
Hail.
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 I cry your worship's mercy heartily. I beseech your worship's name.
Cobweb.
I desire you of more acquaintance, good Master Cobweb. If I cut my finger, I shall make bold with you. Your name, honest gentleman.
Peas blossom.
I pray you commend me to Mr. Squash, your mother, and to Master Peascod, your father. Good Master Peas Blossom. I shall desire you of more acquaintance too. Your name, I beseech you, sir.
Mustard seed.
Good Master Mustard Seed, I know your patience well. The same cowardly giant like ox beef hath devoured many a gentleman of your house. I promise you, your kindred hath made mine eyes water ere now. I desire you of more acquaintance, good Master Mustard Seed.
Come, wait upon him, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my lover's tongue, bring him shortly. They exit. Scene 2. Enter Oberon, King of Fairies.
I wonder if Titania be awaked, then what it was that she saw which she must dote on in extremity.
Enter Puck.
Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove?
My mistress with a monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play intended for Theseus's nuptial day. The shallowest, thick skin of that barren sort whom Pyramus presented in their sport forsook his scene and entered in a break. And when I did his advantage take, an ass's maul I fixed on his head. Is this me must be answered, and forth my mimic comes. So at his sight, away his fellows fly, and at our stamp, here or and over there one falls. He murder cries, and help from Athens calls. It says, thus weak, lost with their fears, and thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong. I led them on in this distracted fear and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When, in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked and straightway loved an ass.
This falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes with the love juice as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping. That is finished too. And the Athenian woman by his side, that, when he waked of force, she must be eyed.
Enter Demetrius and HERMIA.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, why rebuke you him that loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being all shoes in blood, plunge in the deep and kill me too. The sun was not so true unto the day as he to me. Would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia? I'll believe as soon this whole earth may be bored, and that the moon may through the center creep, and so displease her brothers noontide with the Antipodes. It cannot be but thou hast murdered him. So should a murderer look so dead, so grim.
So should the murdered look, and so should I, pierced through the heart with your stern cruelty. Yet you, the murderer, look as bright, as clear, as yonder Venus in her glimmering sphere.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Our good Demetrius, wilt thou give me?
I had rather give his carcass to my hounds.
Out, dog, out, cur, thou darst me past the bounds of maiden's patience. Hast thou slain him then? Henceforth be never numbered among men. Oh, once tell true even for my sake. Durst thou have looked upon him being awake? And hast thou killed him sleeping? Oh, brave touch! Could not a worm, an adder, do so much? An adder did it, for with doubler tongue than thine, thou serpent, never adder stung.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee tell me then that he is well.
And if I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege never to see me more, and from thy hated presence part I so. See me no more, whether he be dead or no.
HERMIA exits.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for a while I will remain. So sorrow's heaviness doth heavier grow, for debt that bankrupt sleep doth sorrow owe, which now in some slight measure it will pay. If for his tender measure, here I make them stay.
He lies down and falls asleep.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. Of thy misprison must perforce ensue some true love turned, and not a false turned true.
Then fate overrules? That one man holding troth, the million fail, confounding oath on oath.
About the wood go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens look thou find. All fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer, with sighs of love that cost the fresh blood dear. By some illusion see thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear.
I go, look how I go, swifter than an arrow from Tartar's bow.
Puck exits. Oberon applies the nectar to Demetrius' eyes.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Puck enters.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me bleeding for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageants see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to wake.
And then will two at once woo one. That must needs be sport alone. And those things do best please me that befall preposterously.
They step aside and become invisible while Lysander and Helena enter.
Why should you think that I should woo in scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep, and vows so born, in their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you, bearing the badge of faith to prove them true?
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh, devilish fray! These vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh. Your vows to her and me, put in two scales, will even weigh, and both as light as tails.
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you.
Oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. To what, my love, shall I compare thine eye? Crystal is muddy. Oh, how ripe in show thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow. That pure congealed white high Taurus snow, fanned with the eastern wind, turns to a crow when thou holdest up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh, wait, oh hell! I see you are all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do? But you must not join in souls to mock me too? If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and super praise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You are both rivals for Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes with your derision. None of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know, I know. And here, with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love I yield you up my part, and yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love, and will do till my death.
Never did mockers waste your idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her but as a guest-wise sojourned, and now to Helen is it home returned, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Disparage not the fate that thou dost not know, lest to thy peril thy abide dear. Look, where their like love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Enter Hermia.
Dark night, that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes, wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found, mine ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly dost thou leave me so?
Why should he stay, whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more engilds the night than all yon fiery oaths and eyes of life. Why seek'st thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think, it cannot be.
No, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this small false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, all forgot? All school days friendship, childhood innocence? We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needles created both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices, and minds had been incorporate. So we grew together, like to a double cherry, seeming parted, but yet in union, in partition, two lovely berries, molded on one stem, so with two seeming bodies, but one heart. Two of the first, like coats and heraldry, due but to one, and crowned with one crest. And will you rent our ancient love asunder to join with men in scorning your poor friend? It is not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander, as in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and made your other love, Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks he this? To her he hates. And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love, so rich within his soul, and tender me, forsooth, affection, but by your setting on, by your consent? What though I be not so in grace as you, so hung upon with love, so fortunate, but miserable most, to love unloved? This you should pity rather than despise.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I, Zeus the Perciver, counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon me when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold the sweet jest up. This sport, well carried, shall be chronicled. If you have any pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But fare you well. 'Tis partly my own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay, gentle Helena, hear my excuse. My love, my life, my soul, fair Helena.
Oh, excellent.
Sweet, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than her weak prayers. Helen, I love thee, by my life I do. I swear by that which I will lose for thee, to prove him false who says I love thee not.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say so, withdraw, and prove it too.
Quick, come!
Lysander, where to tends all this?
Away, you barnacle!
No, he'll seem to break loose. Take on as you would follow, but yet come not. You are a tame man. Go.
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird, vile thing, let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love? Out, tawny tartar, out, loathed medicine, oh hated potion, hence.
Do you not jest?
What?
Yes, and so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What? Should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What? Can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me? Wherefore? Oh me, what news, my love? Am I not Hermia? Am I not? Are not You, Lysander! I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Why then you left me? Oh, the gods forbid. In earnest shall I say.
I, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore be out of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain, nothing truer. 'Tis no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Fine, efface. Have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you!
Puppet! Why, so, aye, that way goes the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height, forsooth she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem, because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you, don't you mock me, gentlemen. Let her not hurt me. I was never cursed. I have no gift at all in shrewishness. I am a right maid for my cowardice. Let her not strike me. You perhaps may think because she is something lower than myself that I can match her.
Lower? Hark, again.
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia. Did ever keep your counsel, never wronged you, save that in love unto Demetrius. I told him of yourself into this wood. He followed you for love. I followed him, but he hath chid me hence, and threatened me to strike me, spurn me, nay, to kill me too. And now, so you will let me quiet go to Athens. Will I bear my folly back and follow you no further? Let me go. You see how simple and how fond I am.
Why, get you gone. Who is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius.
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part.
Oh, when she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little? Again? Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to float me thus? Let me come to her.
Get you gone, you dwarf, you minimus of not hindering not your ass maid, you bead, you acorn.
You are too officious in her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone. Speak not of Helena. Take not her part, for if thou dost intend never so little show of love to her, thou shalt abide it.
Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou darest, to try whose might of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow! Nay, I'll go with thee, cheek by jowl.
Demetrius and Lysander exit.
You, mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
I will not trust you. I no longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands and mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away.
Helena exits.
I am amazed. Know not what to say.
Hermia exits.
This is thy negligence. Still thou makest, or else commits thy knaveries willfully. Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Hie, therefore, Puck, o'ercast the night, and lead these testy rivals so astray as one come not within another's way. And from each other look thou lead them thus, till o'er their brows death counterfeiting sleep, with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye, whose liquor hath his virtuous property, to take from thence all error with his might, and make his eyeballs roll with wonted sight. When they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision, and back to Athens shall the lovers wend, with league whose date till death shall never end. Whilst I in this affair do thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg the boy. And then I will her charmed eye release from monsters' view, and all things shall be peace.
My fairy lord, this must be done with haste, for night-swift dragons cut the clouds full fast, and yonder shines Aurora's harbinger, at whose approach ghosts wandering here and there troop home to the churchyards, damned spirits all, that in crossways and floods have burial, already to their wormy beds have gone. For fear lest day should look upon their shames, they willfully themselves exile from light, and must, for I consort with the black borrowed night.
But we are spirits of another sort. I with the morning's love have oft made sport, but notwithstanding haste, make no delay. We may effect this business ere yet day.
Oberon exits.
Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared in the field and town. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready. Where art thou?
I will be with thee straight.
Follow me then to plainer ground.
Lysander exits. Enter Demetrius.
Lysander, speak again. Thou runaway, thou coward, art thou fled? Speak! In some bush, where dost thou hide thy head?
Thou coward, art thou bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou lookest for wars and wilt not come? Come, recreant, come thou child, I'll whip thee with a rod. He is defiled that draws a sword on thee.
Yea, art thou there?
Follow my voice, we'll try no manhood here.
They exit. Enter Lysander.
He goes before me and still calls me on. When I come where he calls, then he is gone. The villain is much lighter heeled than I. I followed fast, but faster did he fly. That fallen am I in dark, uneven way, and here will rest me. Come thou gentle day, if thou but once will show me thy grey light, O fine Demetrius, and revenge this spite.
Lysander lies down and sleeps. Enter Puck and Demetrius.
Ho, 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 coward, why comest thou not?
Abide me if thou darest, for well I wot thou runnest before me, shifting every place, and darest not stand nor look me in the face. Where art thou now?
Come hither, I am here.
Nay, then thou mockest me. Thou shalt buy this dear, if ever I thy face by daylight see. Now go thy way. Faintness constraineth me to measure out my length on this cold bed. By day's approach, look to be visited.
He lies down and sleeps. Enter Helena.
Oh, weary night, oh, long and tedious night, abate thy hours. Shine comforts from the east, that I may back to Athens by daylight. From these that my poor company detest, and sleep that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye. Steal me a while from mine own company.
She lies down and sleeps.
Yet but 3. Come one more, 2 of both kinds make up 4. Here she comes, oh cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Enter Hermia.
Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with the dew and torn with briars, I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here I will rest me till the break of day. Heavens shield Lysander if they mean a fray.
He lies down and sleeps.
On the ground, sleep sound. I'll apply to your eyes gentle lover remedy.
Robin applies the nectar to Lysander's eyes.
When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lover's eyes. And the country proverb known, that every man shall take his own, in your waking shall be shown. Jack shall have Jill, not shall go ill. The man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Puck exits. Act 4, Scene 1, with the 4 lovers still asleep on stage. Enter Titania, Queen of the Fairies, and Bottom and the Fairies, as well as Oberon the King behind them, unseen to those on stage. Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek, smooth head, and kiss thy fair, large ears, my gentle joy.
Where is Peas Blossom?
Ready.
Scratch my head, Peas Blossom. Where's Monsieur Cobweb?
Ready.
Monsieur Cobweb, good monsieur, get you your weapons in your hand, and kill me a red-hipped humblebee on the top of a thistle, and, good monsieur, bring me the honey bag. Do not fret yourself too much in the action, monsieur, and, good monsieur, have a care the honey bag break not. I would be loath to have you overflown with a honey bag, signor. Where's Monsieur Mustardseed?
Ready. What's your will?
Nothing, good monsieur, but to help Cavalier Cobweb to scratch. I must to the barber's, monsieur, for methinks I am marvels hairy about the face, and I am such a tender ass, if my hair do but tickle me, I must scratch.
What, wilt thou hear some music, my sweet love?
Oh, I have a reasonable good ear in music. Let's have the tongues and the bones.
Oh, or say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Ooh, truly a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire to a bottle of hay. Good hay, sweet hay, hath no fellow.
I have a venturous fairy that shall seek the squirrel's hoard and fetch thee new nuts.
Oh, I had rather have a handful or 2 of dried peas, but I pray you, let none of your people stir me, for I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone, and be always away. Fairies, exit. So doth the woodbine the sweet honeysuckle gently entwist, the female ivy so enrings the barky fingers of the elm. Oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee. Bottom and Titania sleep. Enter Puck.
Welcome, good Puck. Seest thou this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity, for meeting her of late behind the wood, seeking sweet favors for this hateful fool, I did upbraid her and fall out with her, for she his hairy temples then had rounded with coronets of fresh and fragrant flowers. And that same dew which sometime on the buds was wont to swell like round and orient pearls, stood now within the pretty floweret's eyes, like tears that did their own disgrace bewail. When I had at my pleasure taunted her, and she in mild terms begged my patience, I then did ask of her her changeling child, which straight she gave me, and her fairy sent to bear him to my bower in fairyland. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes, and, gentle Puck, take this transformed scalp from off the head of this Athenian swain, that he, awaking when the other do, may all to Athens back again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents, but as the fierce vexation of a dream. But first, I will release the fairy queen.
He applies the nectar to her eyes.
Be as thou wast wont to be. See as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now, my Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
Oh, how came these things to pass? Oh, how mine eyes do loathe his visage now.
Silence a while. Robin, take off his head.
Now when thou wakest, with thine own fool's eyes peep.
Come, my queen, take hands with me. Now thou and I are new in amity, and will tomorrow midnight solemnly dance in Duke Theseus' house triumphantly, and blessed to all fair prosperity, there shall the pairs of faithful lovers be wedded with Theseus, all in jollity.
Come, my lord, and in our flight, tell me how it came this night that I sleeping here was found with these mortals on the ground. Oberon, Puck, and Titania exit. Enter Theseus and all his train, Hippolyta and EGEUS.
We will, fair queen, up to the mountain's top, and mark the musical confusion of hounds and echo in conjunction.
I was with Hercules and Cadmus once, when in a wood of Crete they bayed the bear with hounds of Sparta. Never did I hear such gallant chiding, for besides the groves, the skies, the fountains, every region near, seemed all one mutual cry. I never heard so musical a discord, such sweet thunder.
My hounds are bred out of the Spartan kind, so flued, so sanded, and their heads are hung with ears that sweep away the morning dew. Slow in pursuit, but matched in mouth like bells, each under each. A cry more tunable was never hallooed to, nor cheered with horn. Judge when you hear, but soft, what nymphs are these?
My lord, this is my daughter here asleep, and this Lysander. This Demetrius is, this Helena. I wonder if they're being here together.
No doubt they rose up early to observe the rite of May, and, hearing our intent, came here in grace of our solemnity. But speak, EGEUS, is not this the day that HERMIA should give answer of her choice?
It is, my lord.
Good morrow, friends. St. Valentine is past. Begin these woodbirds but to couple now?
Heard, my lord.
I pray you all, stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle concord in the world, that hatred is so far from jealousy, to sleep by hate and fear no enmity?
My lord, I shall reply amazedly, half sleep, half waking. But as yet, I swear, I cannot truly say how I came here. But as I think, for truly I would speak, and now I do bethink me, so it is, I came hither with HERMIA. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might, without the peril of the Athenian law.
Enough, enough, my lord, you have enough. I beg the law upon his head. They would have stolen away. They would, Demetrius, thereby to have defeated you and me. You of your wife, and me of my consent that she should be your wife.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to the wood. And I, in fury, hither followed them, fair Helena, in fancy, following me. But my good lord, I wot not by what power, but by some power it is, my love to Hermia, melted as the snow, seems to me now as the remembrance of an idle god, which in my childhood I did dote upon. And all the faith, the virtue of my heart, the object and the pleasure of mine eye, is only Helena. To her, my lord, was I betrothed ere I saw Hermia. But like a sickness did I loathe this food. But as in health, come to my natural taste, now I do wish it, love it, long for it, and will forevermore be true to it.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Of this discourse we more will hear anon. EGEUS, I will overbear your will, for in the temple, by and by, with us, these couples shall eternally be knit. And for the morning now is something worn, our purposed hunting shall be set aside. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3. We'll hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, HIPPOLYTA.
Theseus and his train, including HIPPOLYTA and EGEUS, exit.
These things seem small and undistinguishable, like far-off mountains turned into clouds.
Methinks I see these things with parted eye, when everything seems double.
So methinks, and I have found Demetrius like a jewel, my own and not mine own.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. Do not you think the Duke was here and bid us follow him?
Yea, and my father.
And he did bid us follow to the temple.
Why then, we are awake. Let's follow him. And by the way, let us recount our dreams.
The lovers exit.
When my next who comes, call me, and I will answer. My next is most fair promise. Hey ho, Peter Quince, flute the bellows mender, snout the tinker, starveling. God's my life stolen hence and left me asleep. I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream past the wit of any man to say what dream it was. Man is but an ass if he go about to expound this dream. Methought I was... there is no man can tell what. Methought I was, and methought I had, but man is but a patched fool if he will offer to say what methought I had. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man had not seen, man's hand is not able to taste, his tongue to conceive, nor his heart to report what my dream was. I will go to Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will sing it in the latter of the play before the Duke. Peradventure, to make it the more gracious, I shall sing it at Thisby's death.
He exits. Scene 2. Enter Quince, Flute, Snout, and Starveling.
Have you sent to Bottom's house? Is he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. Out of doubt, he is transported.
If he come not, the play is marred. It goes not forward, doth it?
It's not possible. You have not a man in all Athens able to discharge Pyramus but he.
No, he simply hath the best wits of any handicraft man in Athens.
Yea, and the best person too. And he's a very paramour for a sweet voice.
You must say paragon. A paramour is, God bless us, a thing of naught.
Enter Snug the Joiner.
Masters, the Duke is coming from the temple, and there is 2 or 3 lords and ladies more married. If our sport had gone forward, we had all been made men.
Enter Bottom.
Where are these lads? Where are these hearts?
Bottom! Oh, most courageous day! Oh, most happy hour!
Masters, I am to discourse wonders, but ask me not what, for if I tell you I am not true Athenian, I will tell you everything right as it fell out.
Let us hear, sweet Bottom.
Not a word of me. All that I will tell you is that the Duke hath dined. Get your apparel together, good strings to your beards, new ribbons to your pumps. Meet presently at the palace, every man look o'er his part. For the short and the long is, our play is preferred. In any case, let Thisbe have clean linen, and let not him that plays the lion pare his nails, for they shall hang out for the lion's claws. And, most dear actors, eat no onions nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath. And I do not doubt but to hear them say it is a sweet comedy. No more words! Away! Go! Away!
They exit. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, and Philostrate, as well as other miscellaneous lords and attendants.
'Tis strange, my Theseus, that these lovers speak of.
More strange than true. I never may believe these antique fables, nor these fairy toys. Lovers and madmen have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason ever comprehends. The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination all compact. Such tricks hath strong imagination that, if it would but apprehend some joy, it comprehends some bringer of that joy. Or, in the night, imagining some fear, how easy is a bush supposed to bear?
But all the story of the night told over, and all their minds transfigured so together, more witnesseth than fancy's images, and grows to something of great constancy, but howsoever strange and admirable.
Enter the 4 lovers, Lysander, Demetrius, Hermia, and Helena.
Here come the lovers, full of joy and mirth. Joy, gentle friends, joy and fresh days of love accompany your hearts.
More than to us, wait in your royal walks, your board, your bed.
Come now, what masks, what dances shall we have to wear away this long age of 3 hours between our after supper and bedtime? What revels are in hand? Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour? Say, what abridgment have you for this evening? What mask, what music? How shall we beguile the lazy time, if not with some delight?
There is a brief of how many sports are ripe. Make choice of which your highness will see first.
The battle with the centaurs, to be sung by an Athenian eunuch to the harp. Will none of that. That have I told my love, in glory of my kinsman Hercules. The riot of the tipsy bacchanals, tearing the Thracian singer in their rage. That is an old device, and it was played when I from Thebes came last a conqueror. The thrice 3 muses, mourning for the death of learning, late deceased in beggary. That is some satire, keen and critical, not sorting with a nuptial ceremony. A tedious brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisbe. Very tragical mirth. Merry and tragical, tedious and brief. That is hot ice and wondrous strange snow. How shall we find the concord of this discord?
A play there is, my lord, some 10 words long, which is as brief as I have known a play. But by 10 words, my lord, it is too long, which makes it tedious. For in all the play there is not one word apt, one player fitted, and tragical, my lord, it is. For Pyramus therein doth kill himself, which when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water, but more merry tears, the passion of loud laughter never shed.
What are they that do play it?
Hard-handed men that work in Athens here, which have never labored in their minds till now, and have toiled their unbreathed memories with the same play against your nuptial.
And we will hear it.
No, my noble lord, it is not for you. I've heard it over, and it is nothing in the world, unless you can find sport in their intents, extremely stretched and conned with cruel pain to do you service.
I will hear that play, for never anything can be amiss when simpleness and duty tender it. Go, bring them in, and take your places, ladies.
Illustrate exits.
I love not to see wretchedness o'ercharged and duty in his service perishing.
Why, gentle sweet, you shall see no such thing.
He says they can do nothing in this kind.
The kind are we, to give them thanks for nothing. Our sport shall be to take what they mistake, and what poor duty cannot do, noble respect takes it might not merit. Where I have come, great clerks have purposed to greet me with premeditated welcomes, where I have seen them shiver and look pale, make periods in the midst of sentences, throttle their practiced accent in their fears, and in conclusion dumbly have broke off, not paying me a welcome. Trust me, sweet, out of this silence yet I picked a welcome, And in the modesty of fearful duty, I read as much from the rattling tongue of saucy and audacious eloquence. Love, therefore, and tongue-tied simplicity, in least speak most, to my capacity.
Enter Philostrate.
So please, your grace, the prologue is addressed.
Let him approach.
Enter the prologue.
If we offend, it is with our goodwill. That you should think we come not to offend, but with goodwill, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as minding to content you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here. That you should hear repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show, you shall know all that you are like to know.
Prologue exits.
This fellow doth not stand upon points.
He hath rid his prologue like a rough colt. He knows not the stop. A good moral, my lord. It is not enough to speak, but to speak true.
Indeed, he hath played on this prologue like a child on a recorder, a sound, but not in government.
His speech was like a tangled chain, nothing impaired, but all disordered. Who is next?
Enter Pyramus, played by Bottom, Thisbe, played by Flute, Wall, played by Snout, Moonshine, played by Starveling, and Lion, played by Snug, and the prologue, played by Peter Quince.
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, Thisbe, is certain.
Hello.
This man with lime and rough cast doth present Wall, that vile Wall which did these lovers sunder, and through Wall's chink, poor souls they are content to whisper, at which let no man wonder. This man with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn presenteth Moonshine.
On the moon!
For if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninus' tomb, there to woo. This grisly beast, which Lion hight by name, the trusty Thisbe, coming first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which Lion with bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes Pyramus, sweet youth and tall, and finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain, whereat with bloody, blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast, and Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let Lion, Moonshine, Wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.
I wonder if the lion be to speak.
No wonder, my lord. One lion may when many asses do.
Lion, Thisbe, Moonshine, and prologue exit.
In this same interlude, it doth befall that I, one Snout by name, present a wall, and such a wall as I would have you think that had in it a crannied hole or chink, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often very secretly. This loam, this rough cast, and this stone doth show that I am that same wall. The truth is so. And this the cranny is, right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Would you desire lime and hair to speak better?
It is the wittiest partition that ever I heard discourse, my lord.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence.
O grim looked night, O night with hue so black, O night which ever art when day is not, O night, alack, alack, alack. I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. Then thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, that stands between her father's ground and mine, thou wall, O sweet and lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with mine eyne. Oh, thanks, courteous wall. Jove shield thee well for this But what I see, no Thisbe do I see. O wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss, cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, in truth, sir, he should not. Deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She's to enter now, and I'm to spy her through the wall. You see, as you shall see, if it fall pat as I told you. Yonder, she comes.
Enter Thisbe.
Oh, wall, full often hast thou heard my moans for parting my fair Pyramus from me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink to spy as I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe!
My love! Thou art my love, I think.
Think what thou wilt, I am thy lover's grace, and like Llamander am I trusty still.
And I, like Helen, till fates me kill.
Not Shaphalus to Procrus was so true.
As Shaphalus to Procrus, I to you.
Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall.
Kiss the wall's hole, not thee at all.
Without it, ninnies to meet me straight away.
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
Pyramus and Thisbe exit.
Thus have I, wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus wall away doth go.
Wall exits.
Now is the wall down between the two neighbors.
No remedy, my lord, when walls are so willful to hear without warning.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I heard.
The best in this kind are but shadows, and the worst are no worse, if imagination amends them.
It must be your imagination then, and not theirs.
If we imagine no worse of them than they of themselves, they may pass for excellent men. Here come two noble beasts in, a man and a lion.
Enter Lion and Moonshine.
You ladies, you whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion, rough in wildest rage doth roar. Didn't know that I, as Snug the joiner, am a lion fell, nor else no lion's dam. For if I should as lion come in strife into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast, and of a good conscience.
The very best as a beast, my lord, that e'er I saw.
This lion is a very fox for his valor.
True, and a goose for his discretion.
Not so, my lord, for his valor cannot carry his discretion. And the fox carries his goose.
His discretion, I am sure, cannot carry his valor, for the goose carries not the fox. It is well. Leave it to his discretion, and let us listen to the moon.
This, the lanthorn doth the horned moon present.
Should have worn the horns on his head.
He is no crescent, and his horns are invisible within the circumference.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. Myself, the man in the moon, do seem to be.
Well, this is the greatest error of all the rest. The man should be put into the lanthorn. How is it else the man of the moon?
I am aweary of this moon. Would he would change.
It appears by his small light of discretion that he is in the wane, but yet, in courtesy, in all reason, we must stay the time.
Proceed, moon.
All that I have to say is to tell you that the lanthorn is the moon. I, the man in the moon, this thorn bush, my thorn bush, and this dog, my dog.
Why, all these should be in the lanthorn, for all these are in the moon. But silence! Here comes Thisbe.
Enter Thisbe.
This is Ninny's tomb, but where is my love?
Ow!
Thisbe runs off. Dropping her
Lord
mantle.
Lion!
And well run, Thisbe.
Well shone moon, truly the moon shines with a good grace.
Well moused, lion.
Enter Pyramus.
And then came Pyramus.
Lion exits.
And so the lion vanished.
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright. For thy gracious golden glittering gleams I trust to take of truest Thisby's sight. But stay, O spite, but mark, poor knight, what dreadful dole is here. Eyes do you see? How can it be? Oh, dainty duck! Oh dear, my mantle good, what stained with blood? Oh, proud ye furies fell! Oh, fates, come, come! Cut thread and thrum, quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make a man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Oh, wherefore, nature, didst thou lion's frame, since lion vile hath here deflowered my dear? Which is, no, which was the fairest dame that lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come tears, confound, out sword and wound, the pap of Pyramus, I that left pap where hop doth hop. Thus die I, thus. Now I am dead. No, I am fled. My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Now die, 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 die.
Pyramus falls. The moon exits.
With the help of surgeon, he might yet recover and yet prove an ass.
How chance moonshine is gone before Thisby comes back and finds her lover?
She will find him by starlight.
Enter Thisby.
Here she comes, and her passion ends the play.
Methinks she should not use a long one for such a Pyramus. I hope she will be brief.
Sleep, my love. What, dead, my dove? Pyramus, arise! Speak! Speak! Quite dumb. Dead. Dead. A tomb mayst cover thy sweet eyes. These lily lips, this cherry nose, these yellow cowslit cheeks are gone. Gone. Lovers make moan. His eyes were green as leeks. Oh, sisters three, come to me with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in gore, since you have shore with shears his thread of silk. Tongue, not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade, my breast imbue. And farewell, friends. Thus is the end. Adieu. Adieu.
Moonshine and lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and wall too.
No, I assure you, the wall is down that parted their fathers. Will it please you to see the epilogue, or to hear a burgomask dance between the two of our company?
No epilogue, I pray you, for your play needs no excuse. Never excuse, for when the players are all dead, there need none to be blamed.
The players exit.
The iron tongue of midnight hath told 12. Lovers, to bed, 'tis almost fairy time. Sweet friends, to bed. A fortnight hold we this solemnity, in nightly revels and new jollity.
They exit. Enter Puck.
Now is the time of night that the graves, all gaping wide, every one lets forth his sprite. In the churchway paths to glide, and we fairies that do run by the triple hectic's team from the presence of the sun, following darkness like a dream, now our frolic. Not a mouse shall disturb this hallowed house. I am sent with a broom before to sweep the dust behind the door.
Enter Oberon and Titania. with all their train.
Through the house give glimmering light by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and fairy sprite hop as light as bird from briar.
Hand in hand with fairy grace will we sing and bless this place.
Now, until the break of day, through this house each fairy stray. To the best bride bed will we, which by us shall blessed be. So shall all the couples three ever true in loving be. With this field dew consecrate, every fairy take his gate, and each several chamber bless. Through this palace with sweet peace, and the owner of it blessed, ever shall in safety rest. Trip away, make no stay. Meet me all by break of day.
All but Robin exit.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumber here while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck now to scrape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long, else the puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
He exits. And now let's introduce our wonderful cast of players.
My name is Elizabeth Rudolph, and I played Snout and Mustardseed.
I'm Joachim Luis, and I was Snug and Moth.
I'm Heather Keith, and I played Robin Starveling the Tailor and Cobweb.
I am Lauren Schneider, and I played Frances Flute Bisbee.
I'm Paige Stover, and I played Peter Quince.
I am Alana Spencer, and I was Peas Blossom.
I'm Cathy O'Shaughnessy, and I was EGEUS and PHILOSTRATE.
I'm Gilly Kelleher, and I played HIPPOLYTA.
Phil Arquette playing Duke Theseus.
I'm Stan DeCwikiel, and I played Nick Bottom.
I'm Catherine Dalin, and I played Titania.
Aaron Hunt, and I was Oberon.
SarahAnn Sutter, and I was HERMIA.
I am Janie Brouillette, and I played Helena.
Jordan Crice, I played Lysander.
Jeff Luksik, I played Demetrius.
I'm Danielle Bohr, and I played Robin Goodfellow, aka Puck.
And I am Sock Mabel, and I read all the stage directions. Hooray! Thank you all so much for tuning in. We do have time and willingness to answer questions. If you had any questions as we go along, we obviously have a little bit of a delay between YouTube and this, but if you have any questions or just want to tell us how wonderful we are, I mean, that's great too. So we will, I'll read any questions or comments that have come in. Got some thank yous, some applause. Lillian says, congratulations, everyone. That was great. Got lots of clapping emojis. Sock Mabel got a shout out here. So that's always exciting for Sock Mabel. Do, do, do. Singing a little song while we wait. Maybe there won't be any questions, but that's okay. We'll still give it a moment in case there are. Let's see. Jen Barrett says, bravo, it was really fun. Yay, thanks for coming. We had a great time. Any other questions? I'm just going to scroll up and see if there were any questions all along. Let's see. Got some major compliments for the donkey. Seems like lots of people had a great time, so that's wonderful.
I think we've had a fun time, so I don't want to speak for everyone, but there's a high probability that we'll do something like this again for a different show, because I think everybody had a great time, probably, or else they've been lying to me, and that's cool too. You can lie to me and make me feel better. I think we've all actually had a good time with this read today. How did we practice? Oh, that's a really good question. Oh yeah, we got a question about the technology, and we got a question about how we practice. So we'll talk about how we practice first. So really this started with us, with me saying, oh my goodness, we're gonna be potentially without live theater for a very long time. And I am very extroverted. And so the idea of being quarantined and not able to make art with anybody was really a stressful thing. So really, as soon as Illinois locked down, I said to myself, I wonder if anyone wants to read Shakespeare with you on Zoom. And then I put it out there into the world of my Facebook, and quite a few people responded and said, yeah, that'd be so much fun. Let's get together and see if we have fun doing it. And now it has grown. So not everybody who is in this production are people that I knew before. So now it is not just my immediate circle, but now we are, to a circle that includes people who knew people who were already in the group. And so now we have really a wide range of people. So essentially, we cast the show out of people who were available and have been part of the readings. And so then I set, a couple of parameters. I gave people some backgrounds for those who are able to do digital backgrounds. And set, certain basic tech parameters for what we were going to do to make the show work. And then we had one rehearsal where we kind of worked out, okay, what are the stage directions that we are going to read? What are the ones that aren't terribly important or really obvious from the action that's spoken about in the show? And then from there, we had a dress rehearsal on Zoom that was basically our tech of trying to figure out the technology, which we can talk about as well. That was this week, and then here we are doing it for real, and we figured out obviously how to do this on YouTube Live, which has been a new adventure, but a super fun one. So what's the biggest challenge with the technology is a question that we got. I think the fact that sometimes there is lag issues. There were a couple of moments today where someone's internet went out right at a moment where they had a line, and so we had a basic plan in place for that. Which was the plan was basically that someone, usually me, would continue by reading their lines if someone was not non-responsive, and then hopefully they would get back before their next line, if possible, because technology sometimes is uncooperative. Obviously, there are also things that wouldn't have worked quite as well. Say in a production version of it, the lovely song that Alana wrote that song for this production, brava Alana. So that song might normally have been performed by more than one fairy, right? It might have been performed by her and then other fairies as well. Obviously, with sound delays, that wouldn't be possible. So the few times that there were lines in the show that were like multiple people saying something at once, it wouldn't really be possible for those to happen actually simultaneously. But in this case, it was the mechanical, so it was funny for it to sound like a jumble. So let's see. Does anyone else have something that they want to add about either one of those points of my friends who are on the call?
Yeah, there's like about 15 different kinds of computers and microphones. And my computer is 10 years old and somehow is able to withstand all this stuff because like I have extra audio equipment and stuff, but people are going through like their phones and things. And boy, could we have, if anybody want to Venmo us like $10,000, we'll buy everybody all new machines. Have it all like square.
Hey, I will put a Venmo link on this, and if anyone does want to Venmo to help us, up our game next time, by all means, it would be welcome. But I consider this to be a bit like Shakespeare in the Park would be, that like it is our gift to you if you are able to help support and want to help us keep making ridiculous content like this in the future, because you love watching our ridiculous faces do ridiculous things. Then by all means do, and I'll put that in the chat once I remember if there's a number after my Venmo name. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, there's a wide variety of technology. I actually am running from 2 separate screens right now. I've got my iPad is what you're actually hearing me through. But I've been running the tech through my laptop. My laptop does not have a camera, or else maybe I would only be doing this on one thing. But my laptop runs Linux and is a dinosaur, but it's sturdy and has literally been knocked off of everything by my cat at some point. Also, like, I'm very surprised that you didn't see anyone's furry friends, I think, during the show. That actually is exceedingly remarkable, because usually you get to hear and see a little bit from everybody at some point. Let's see, have any other questions popped up in the comments? And anyone want to add anything? Jump on in, my friends.
Sure. I know one of the questions was how we had practiced, and usually from week to week, some people our lovely leader here sort of organizes all of the cast lists for the readings that we've done throughout this quarantine. And for rehearsals, oftentimes we may not necessarily even read the roles prior to actually reading it for fun in our group. Sometimes if we have additional time, we may be able to look at them beforehand. But for this, it was mainly just studying on our own. We had one rehearsal, one dress rehearsal, and then today's performance. So a lot of this was just sort of done in between coordinating with some of my fellow cast members on what we were going to wear and what we were going to do. And that's sort of most of the rehearsal process that we had for this.
Although also, if you all remember, this was our first show. This is the
It
first
was,
one
yeah.
we did as a group. So some of
It's
us
true.
actually had some of these roles before, and it was nice to go back and do it better this time. So
Yeah, we got to step up our game. This was the first one that we read back in March, because it was my favorite. And so as the my unofficial title is Chaos Monster. So as the Chaos Monster for this bunch, I said, hey, let's do my favorite show first. And then we did, but they voted for this one. So basically the answer is yes, there are future reads if you're not already in the group. For BYO Shakespeare, it is an open group. You just have to answer what your favorite Shakespeare show is. And I promise I'm not judging it. I'm just making sure you're not a spam bot. Like literally, as long as you answer with something that is a Shakespeare show or looks like you are pretty close to spelling a Shakespeare show right, you'll get it. But really, it's just to make sure that that like the spam bots of the world don't get in. But yeah, so let's see, so a couple of other questions. Yeah, so it's very open-ended as far as the reading. So this is the first one that we have done as a performance, open to the public. But this is now, I believe, the 18th week of us reading Shakespeare together. So that means this show is a repeat, but that means we've read, I mean, I'd have to look in the group to be sure, but I'm pretty sure last week was 17. So that means we've read 17 different shows. We've read across all of the genres of Shakespeare's work at this point. And we decided that we thought Midsummer would work really well, at least for a first experiment, to see if we have fun in this venue, sharing it this way. Yeah, Mom, that's a great question. So many of us are in Illinois because that's where I am based. I'm based in Chicago. And so many of the people are people that I know originally from here. But then our group expanded, and our group expanded to include everything from, you know, members of my family who live across the country, to people who are friends of friends and live across the country. And it could be literally anywhere, as long as people have the time to participate. And during the summer, we've gone down to just like reading one show a week. during the times when the weather has not been as pleasant as it is during the summer. We were reading twice a week, and we may go back to that at some point, but we're down to just the one for right now. And yes, Lillian, I gave people very little guidance as far as costumes. For those who wanted to and have the capability of doing a background thing, I did give them the 2 backgrounds for that. Not everyone has the technology, including myself, to be able to do that. So you get to see my very lovely curtains in the background, which, fun fact, I made at the start of quarantine because I needed a project. So here we are. Full circle, literally. But I basically said, hey, you can get as into costuming yourself as you would like to. You can get or you can keep it as simple as you would like. So, I told people, just remember, you're going to be seen to the public, however much public turns up. So just make sure that whatever part of you that is seen is presentable for such things. But aside from that, I let people make it their own. And so some people did coordinate with one another to figure out what they wanted to do. I think Aaron Hunt and I just kind of like decided to try to one up each other. And honestly, I think the man won, but that's fine. Yeah, let's see, any other questions of tonight's cast? Who is outside of Illinois? Let's see, is it just the one? Is it just Gilly?
It might just be
out of, yes. Or at least everyone else is at least sometimes Illinoisian. I don't think we certainly are not all from here originally, but we are now here. I was born in Michigan, mostly grew up in Indiana, but I've been since starting college, and since then I've been in Illinois or close to Chicago. And we've got people who originally are from Chicago, and we also have people who are originally from Pennsylvania, and originally are also from Indiana, or are originally from downstate Illinois, or I don't know where everyone's from originally. And SarahAnn has lived all over the world, so like I don't even know where she's from originally. But most of us met here in Chicago. So yeah, let's see if any other exciting questions have come up.
And some of us are on Pacific time and have to subtract 2 hours from every call time, which has been more of a challenge than it should be.
Math is hard.
Math is extremely hard.
It is very hard. The donkey head. Stan, would you like to tell about the donkey head? Because that's all you, friend.
Sure. So I really wanted to go look for a donkey head, like at a costume shop. And as you know, with everything on lockdown, you can't get into a costume shop. So I tried looking online and stuff, and I left it kind of late. I've been having issues. I got issues. So we had the dress 2 days ago, and I tried something and it didn't work. And I thought, I live in little village, La Villita. It's a very Mexican neighborhood, and 3 blocks from my house is a place called Dulcelandia, and you can buy all sorts of Mexican candies in bulk, and they have a crap ton of piñatas. And if you don't know what a piñata is, I'm sure you know what a piñata is. I'm not even going to go into it. So there is this, I figured, there's this like kind of standard multicolored kind of orange, green, yellow burrow that they kind of have, and I thought I'll find one of those, and that would look kind of funny on my head if I chopped the head off. Well, they had this, of course. You can't really see it because of this background. Let me turn the background off. Sorry. Ugh. Eek. Newfangled technologies. Yuck. Okay, here we go. So there's this. I saw this, and it looks a lot like Donkey from Shrek. And the head is huge. I mean, it's massive. It's even bigger than my giant noggin. And I'm like, I must have this. So I put the money, I paid, and then of course I did the old Godfather whack the head off the horse thing. So voila, here it is. So head of donkey.
So that means you have a body of a donkey too.
I have, yes.
And,
if anybody would
and
like
then
So Halloween for next year is set. You
You're
got
good.
it. Like
I am never
done.
putting that thing on again
Also,
unless I'm
you can
paid.
you can also do bottom like now on tour. Like you have your costume with
Yeah.
you. You can
Yeah,
just
there
take it
you-
with
well,
you.
Like,
I
who
have
doesn't
the
want a
bottom of
bottom
the
who looks like a
donkey
cross
still,
between
so-
Donkey from Shrek and the rabbit from Donnie Darko? Like,
Oh yes,
everyone wants that.
absolutely.
Accurate.
Yeah.
So
Or you know,
good.
they're at this one particular place. They do have a lot of Donald Trump pinatas. So you cut the head off of that thing. You want? Yeah, hey,
Yes.
hey, we can go get a couple of those and really give them a good whacking.
Honestly, these days I'd be happy just hitting anything. Just hit something till it explodes.
I was gonna
You
make
know-
a Stormy Daniels joke just there, but I couldn't come up with the actual words for it, so I'll let y'all come up with the actual joke.
Brilliant. Let's keep this PG, but think it in your
I didn't say nothing. That's why I said I didn't
and-
say it.
Well, you do get one F word in a PG-13 show, so.
I said we're PG, not PG.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you know, so is Indiana
I think-
Jones. Indiana Jones is a PG movie, Kat.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, and then Stan didn't actually we showed the donkey head, the piñata head to only the people who were going to be on stage with Stan the first time it was revealed. So for everyone else, including myself, we didn't look at it until it appeared on the screen, and we had to mute. I mean, obviously we were muted when we weren't on stage, which was a really good thing because it was hilarious. Okay, I'm just seeing what, if anything else, are questions that we might have missed.
Well, one of those was about, what was it, like how we practiced and how we like got together in tech and everything. So some of us lived together, so you can see that Jordan and Jeff are in the same space together, and that helps with like staging and stuff. And I live in the same house, so like things like of that nature can occasionally make practicing, at least when all three of us are doing the same show, a little bit easier, and we can do some interesting staging in a arena where staging doesn't usually happen. Which
Yes, Arms of Hermia, breaking the wall, the virtual
Yes.
wall.
Yes, that was Lauren's idea. That was her brilliant contribution, both in terms of the actual and the idea.
Love it. That's a good question. I love that. So while we get ready to answer the question about Oberon's awesome hair pieces and such, the question that we can pose for you that came up in our chat is there a particular play that you wish you could see us read? And if you want to think about it, because you don't remember every name of every Shakespeare show, that's cool. You can always post it in the event or think about it and come back and post on this chat, because this will be live. This will still be up on my channel, although I will probably go through and edit out the first part where it's like 15 minutes of watching my screen count down from 15 minutes, because that's not exciting. Yeah, so Aaron can speak in more detail, because that is a combination of Aaron's genius brain and his wonderful husband's genius brain. Yeah, so Aaron, if you want to tell the story of your magnificence, by all means.
Sure. It's nothing fancy. When I found out we were going to do this, we had just done I'm a theater person like all of us in one way or the other. I'm sure we all have a drawer or a closet somewhere that's chock full of stuff that we of course might need someday in case we have to have it for a costume. And I had just done a big purge and had like one piece of ribbon and nothing left. So I don't go out shopping. I stay home. So I picked up I got online with Target and I ordered some plastic stuff and some headbands. That's what I did. And wasn't really sure what to do with it, but thought, I'm going to have to come up with some kind of crown. I also ordered a couple of makeshift crowns. None of them have arrived, of course, but thank you, Target. The headbands and the plastic flowers got here yesterday. And so this morning, I basically handed all of this stuff to my lovely husband and said, can you make a crown out of this while I go have some lemonade? And he did. So
He's wonderfully talented. I thought I should show you also that my like lovely flower crown that has been around my throat the entire time also lights up. What crazy party time. All right, let's see if there are any couple last questions and then we'll like be quiet and go home. I mean, we're all home, but you know what I mean. Basically, I mean, pour a drink. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Any other questions? Let's see. Happy. Someone says Titus. Oh, going throwing it back to some dark stuff. Okay, I see that.
More cannibalism.
Drunken
Okay.
Titus Andronicus in a pandemic. Do we recall?
That's a thing we did. That's a thing we did. All right, I think I'm going to end our live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It really has meant so much to us to be able to share with you. If you're interested and able to throw some money at the Venmo, then that just gives us money to spend on props for next time, and we'll get to continue to share this with all of you. So thank you all so much. Cast, if you want to continue to chat, you can. But I am going to end the live stream shortly once my technology decides to play nicely with itself, which is not quite yet happening, but it'll get there. It'll get there. Da 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 da. It just really wants to chat. That's the problem. Okay. All right, getting there. All right. Ooh. Come on, buttons. Click on the thing. I'm stuck forever.